Officer Harlan figured it was just another standard beat through the bustling supermarket that crisp morning. Everything appeared ordinary. Then a young girl in a vivid blue jacket abruptly lifted her arm high. Not to wave hello, not to grab a bag of snacks, but to flash a distress call. No one nearby grasped its significance. No one sensed she was in peril. No one suspected the guy clasping her hand wasn't her dad. She was wordlessly crying out for aid. Officer Harlan overlooked her initially, but his canine companion, Coda, didn't. The dog halted abruptly, his ears pricked up, his stare fixed on the girl's quivering fingers, and then out of nowhere, he erupted into wild yaps, yanking at his lead like he was desperate to charge ahead. "Coda, what's up, pal?" Harlan queried, baffled. Officer Harlan struggled to restrain him, but Coda wouldn't yield. Something was off. Horribly off. In mere moments, the serene supermarket morphed into a frenzy of bewilderment, dread, and haste. What message was this young girl conveying? How come the police dog spotted the gesture right away? Stick around, 'cause what the young girl gestured and what the dog unearthed shortly after would expose a bombshell so staggering that the whole place hushed up. Before we dive in, be sure to smash that like button and subscribe. And honestly, I'm wondering, where are you tuning in from? Share your country in the comments below. I adore tracking how our tales spread globally. The supermarket buzzed with an uncommon tranquility that morning. Overhead fluorescents buzzed faintly over lines of vibrant snack bags, the rattle of trolleys mingling with hushed chats, and the sporadic chirp of sneakers on glossy linoleum. Folks meandered down corridors with partially loaded baskets, eyeing deals, chuckling, drifting to the languid pace of a typical day. Zilch in this spot suggested a game changer was seconds from igniting. Officer Harlan strolled next to his K9 buddy, Coda, on a standard neighborhood round. Their visits here were commonplace. The bosses appreciated their drop-ins, and patrons frequently paused for a greeting. Harlan offered a courteous tip of his hat to a senior lady who knew him while Coda padded assuredly beside him, his nails tapping softly with each stride. The Belgian Malinois' tail wagged mildly, a mark of composed expertise, yet his hazel gaze swept over it all, every motion, every face, every aroma wafting in the breeze. "Shaping up to be a breeze today," Harlan muttered, delivering Coda a swift rub behind the ear. But Coda didn't react like normal. Rather, he eased his pace, ears flicking, snout tilting upward a tad. It was faint. So faint that almost anyone else would have overlooked it completely. But Harlan, who'd teamed with Coda for ages, detected a hushed alteration in the dog's vibe. Not panic, not hostility, something different. Intrigue blended with strain. Harlan broke off his chat with a fresh-faced pair by the carts. He observed Coda's snout quiver as the dog inhaled the atmosphere once more. "You catching a whiff, mate?" he breathed. Coda advanced, tail dipping, his frame tensing. He wasn't fired up, but he was on edge. Harlan knew that expression cold. It mirrored the one from when Coda sniffed out a concealed blade or zeroed in on a lost kid pinned under rubble. Only here, the scene screamed routine. Kids yanked at their folks' cuffs, jabbing at candy bars. A giggling teen flung pretzels into his buddy's trolley. A dad swayed his infant softly while picking tomato pastes. Nary a hint of threat anywhere. And still, Coda's gut had never steered him astray. "Steady," Harlan breathed, clenching the lead firmer. "Show me what you've got." Coda inched ahead deliberately, gaze sharpening like he was pursuing a ghost. No yapping, no snarling. He just exhaled a lone, brief puff, a noise Harlan had come to respect deeply. Whatever Coda was onto, it wasn't everyday stuff. It was the initial faint quiver before the whole thing blew wide open. Toward the tail end of the snack row, a fellow and a young girl ambled abreast. But the duo just didn't gel right. The guy boasted a sturdy frame, biceps etched with inky markings, his hold locked tight on the kid's tiny palm. He strode with the poise of a man aiming for casual, but overdoing it. His peepers flicked side to side, scouting the corridor, gauging onlookers. Most browsers ignored them. To the masses, he passed for just another caretaker hauling a youngster through buys. But the girl, she clashed with the vibe. She sported a vivid blue jacket that ought to pop. Yet she somehow faded into the scenery like she craved invisibility. Her dark locks draped tidily across her back. But her bearing spilled a contrasting tale. Rigid, taut, nearly rigid. She hugged a wee, plush critter to her torso, her digits shaking on its frayed cloth. She uttered zilch, grinned zilch, didn't lunge for any snack pouches like typical tykes. She merely trailed with her chin dipped low like dreading any noise. As the guy halted to fake perusing a snack tag, the girl darted looks around swift-like. Her stare didn't roam idly, it hunted with urgency. She eyed the mugs of passing browsers as if mutely imploring somebody to clock her, somebody who might twig that all wasn't kosher. But none did. A mom wheeling a trolley breezed by sans a glance. A teen dude eyed racks over her crown and pressed on. A pop weighed 2 snack types, too zoned out to spot the rigidity in the young girl's frame. For a split tick, her focus hit Officer Harlan and Coda at the far stretch of the row. The girl's mug morphed. Dread laced with optimism. It held a beat before she snapped away, squeezing her plush harder. The guy nudged her palm lightly, and she trailed sans fuss, but her peepers kept snapping back to Coda every couple paces. Harlan hadn't clocked her yet, but Coda had. The Belgian Malinois' ear flicked anew. His dome canted slow. His schnoz widened. He half-stepped on, blowing off Harlan's mild heel order. His senses honed sharper per inhale, per tick, per tiny twitch the girl pulled. Something in her aura, her fright, her hush drew him like iron to lodestone. The supermarket's ease was ebbing. Something was gravely amiss. Coda's shift in bearing was understated at kickoff. So understated a novice's eye would have blown it off. The Belgian Malinois' tail sank a smidge. His ears pitched ahead, and his breaths switched from chill to pinpointed measured draws. Harlan sensed the lead firm up softly, not fierce, but with intent probe. "Coda!" Harlan hissed, already twigging his sidekick had zeroed in. Coda didn't glance rear. His focus clung to the distant close of the row where the inked guy and the young girl treaded. The dog eased another gauged stride forth. His snout jerked as he sifted scent strata, fruity soap from close browsers, paperboard from snack sacks, leaked salt from a burst pouch, and something more. Something dim, biting, and off-kilter. Terror, raw chem terror. Harlan had witnessed Coda key on powder, dope, booms. But terror bore its own tag, and Coda had nailed it solid via years hunting stray kids, stashed casualties, and spooked fleers. It wasn't a drilled aroma. It was one forged in the field. Coda inhaled deeper this round. His ears spiked keen. Harlan trailed the dog's line of sight, and at last clocked the girl in the blue jacket. She looked unscathed. She didn't seem in instant peril, but she also didn't act like a freewheeling kid on a market jaunt. Her footfalls were too petite, too reined. Her peepers never parked long. Coda clocked 3 purposeful paces ahead. Harlan firmed his hold. "Easy, fella. We ain't spooking folks." But Coda wasn't out to spook. He was keying on something solely he could vibe. The girl peeked rear once more, her stare slamming straight on Coda. This go, not by fluke nosiness, but with bald urgency. She held his lock, no blink, like beaming thoughts sans talk. The guy at her flank missed it. He was zoned on rack tags, faking deep shop dives. Coda loosed a low, near-muted keen. Harlan felt his pulse tick up. He banked on that noise over any squawk on his rig. "What you sniffin', pal?" he breathed, though he half knew the score. The dog paced again, sinews coiling, haunches dipping as he hit sentry shift. It was overt now. Something orbiting that girl lit Coda's drives at a base layer. Not threat to his hide, but threat to hers. And whatever it was, Coda clocked it ere any soul in the joint twigged a jot. The gale was mustering. The young girl braked her stride just a tick, but Coda nabbed it pronto. The guy palming her didn't clock. He was too locked on faking norm. He snagged a snack sack, flipped it, and played ingredient scan. But the girl wasn't eyeing the sack. Nor him. She was eyeing Coda. Her ribs hitched in fast, shallow pulls, her wee digits quaking on the plush mashed to her chest. She scoped passing browsers, then back to Coda, like questing nod, like mutely querying, "You get me?" Coda paced forth again, sinews bunched, stare welded to her with iron focus, and then the girl eased her spare palm up. Not sky-high, not flagging, not hollering, just a firm, willed upward sweep. Palm out, digits stiff. A cue drilled in classes and guard drills, a cue for when chatter was off limits, when peril hugged too tight, when the bad ear loomed, the aid me cue, a covert hail for save. Harlan didn't snag the gist first off. He spied a young girl hoisting her arm. Period. Maybe eyeing a snack sack. Maybe just limbering. But Coda knew sharper. He pegged the rigid limb, the shaky digits, the hush in her peepers. The dog's drill and drive fired with blast lucidity. Coda stabbed ahead keen, loosing a profound pressing snarl. Not menace, alert. Harlan batted lids, jolted. "Coda, what gives?" But the girl held her palm aloft. No drop, no quail, even as the inked guy cinched her cuff, pasting a grin on. "All good?" Harlan hollered, tone even but digging. The guy didn't whirl prompt, his frame locked, his paws mashed the girl's digits a hair too fierce. Coda yapped once, crisp, keen, booming down the row. Browsers leaped, spooked. A mom yanked her tot nearer. A dude shunted his trolley off, muddled. The whole row iced a flash. Harlan's peepers ballooned as the facts slammed him collective. That wasn't a flag. That wasn't a reach. That wasn't chance. That was a bid. A voiceless yell only Coda had decoded. Harlan's rush spiked. The tick the girl hiked her arm, the whole kit flipped. The hushed supermarket was safe no more, and Coda had just echoed her bid. Coda bolted forth with a punch Harlan wasn't braced for. The lead snapped taut, skidding through Harlan's digits ere he clamped anew. The Belgian Malinois' yap thundered the row, crisp, keen, pressing. Browsers gulped and peeled back. Trolleys screeched as crowds cleared. "Coda, heel!" Harlan bellowed. But Coda tuned out. Not today. Not with the kid flashing aid. Coda's drives trumped all. Drill, orders, sideshows. He vaulted a sec time, wedging tween the girl and the row's stretch, sealing any bolt. His bearing wasn't hot, but it was guard, bold, flat-out shield. His peepers clung to the guy's paw, mashing the girl's cuff. The guy faked a puzzled chortle. Hey, what's the deal? Why's your mutt trippin'?" His tone wobbled. Too wobbly for a dude swearing all square. Harlan advanced, mitt hovering by his gear strap, sizing the twosome keen. "Mister," she flashed a guard cue. "My sidekick keyed on it. You two all right?" The guy's mandible locked. "A cue? She's play-actin'. Tykes pull odd stunts." But the girl didn't vibe dramatic. She vibed spooked. Her hiked mitt eased down slow, but not 'cause she nixed aid. 'Cause the guy's mash cinched, yanking it low. Her peepers brimmed alarm, flicking tween Harlan and Coda. Coda snarled, low, booming, humming the deck. Harlan's ticker hammered. He'd eyed Coda key on peril prior, but this rang fresh. This wasn't dope whiff or iron presence. This was mood scan. This was fright. "Mister?" Harlan barked, tone rock solid. "Back off the girl now." The guy snorted. "For real? This might—" Coda yapped anew, louder prior, slicing his spiel mid-breath. Folks in flank rows quit buys flat. Some fished phones. Others muttered edgy. Harlan clocked it. The guy's frame bunching, the damp beating his brow, the way his digits gouged the girl's limb. This wasn't mix-up. Coda sniffed truth ere any grown-up did. The girl essayed again, sly, spooked to hike her mitt. She couldn't crest it full this round, but Coda nabbed. He vaulted forth, planting square afore her, veiling her wee build rear his beefy frame. Harlan hiked a mitt serene. "Mister, loose her now." The guy dithered. Coda didn't. The inked guy's mug flipped so swift most would have missed. One tick forced chumminess. Next, mandible clamped, peepers slitted, and a spark of freak lit his kisser. His mash on the young girl's cuff cinched just shy for her to yelp. Though she masked it. "Come on," he grumbled low, hauling her to the rose lip. "We're bouncin'." Coda blew with another yap. Louder, richer, keener, jarring all round. A mom gulped, shunting her tot rear her trolley. An old geezer iced mid-stride. Twin teen lads peeled, peepers saucered as strain snapped the row. Harlan stabbed forth, sealing the guy's bolt lane. "Mister, freeze there!" The guy's pasted grin resurfaced, but it chipped at rims. "Freeze? Why? Your mutt's scarin' her. We're just haulin' goods." But it wasn't Coda scarin' her. It was him. The girl mashed her plush fiercer, her draw quickening, her peepers mutely suing. She spilled no word, but no need. Her whole stance hollered fright. Coda slid swift, wedging flank Harlan, frame low, peepers welded to the guy with no blink heat. One bad twitch, one bold lunge, and Coda was primed to guard. The guy gulped deep, damp sheeted his forehead. He scoped the throng and twigged something unbid. All peepers pinned, no bolt, no soft dip, too many marks. He essayed anew. "Cop, check. She's bashful. Hates mutts, that's it." His tone quaked. Harlan held tone chill but steel. "Drop her mitt," Coda snarled, hushed but mighty, like far rumble brewing. The guy's peepers darted left, right, like plotting quickest bolt trail. His draw hefted. He mashed the girl's cuff, and she winced anew. "Mister," Harlan warned, volume up. "Loose her." That flipped the switch. The guy abrupt jerked the girl forth, gunning to blitz past Harlan and Rabbit. But he nabbed 2 strides max. Coda vaulted, not to maul, but to jam. He rocketed afore the guy, stamping paws solid, loosing a yap mighty enough to rattle racks. Sacks jittered, browsers gulped. The guy tripped rear, jolted. Freak gulped his mug whole. His scheme for quiet dip tanked. Coda had jammed every out. And first time, the guy twigged. This wasn't just a badge eyeing him. It was a K9 who knew the score. A tick, all iced. The rows hushed. Browsers locked mid-stride. Even the faint, piped tunes from vents blurred to zilch. All focus pinned the young girl, and the guy still balking her cuff loose. Coda held rock, sinews taut, jamming their trail with a stance so guard that none doubted his charge. Harlan eyed keen, one mitt drifting by his strap, every sense honed. "Mister," Harlan repped, tone steady but granite. "Loose her mitt now." The guy's grin caved, his mug bunched, peepers narrowing with mounting ire. "She's my sprout," he bit. "You're scaring her. She's spooked by you," Harlan said low. The guy's trap flapped, but ere he spat, something unbid hit. The young girl nudged her cuff anew, a wee twitch, nigh nothin'. But this round, sans hush, she drew shaky gust and breathed, "Please don't let him snag me." Her tone was faint, wee, breakable, but it rocked the row like a quake. Harlan's ticker sank. Browsers gulped. Coda loosed a low snarl humming the deck. The guy cinched instant. "Ignore her, she's mixed up." But the girl wagged her dome, brine pooling, her wee tone quaking like a spooked frond in gust. "He's not my pop." The guy's mug bleached. The girl mashed her plush with both mitts now, hugging it to her chest like armor. "I don't know him," she breathed. "He said zip chatter. He said stay mum." "Oh, kites!" Coda yapped, a rich, mighty boom that made flank browsers flinch. Harlan stabbed forth, tone now iron. "Paw off her this sec." The guy's draw raced, digits twitching. He eyed Harlan, then Coda, then the out as if mathing something wild. His tone splintered. "She's fibbin'. She's quiverin'," Harlan sliced. "Eye her." The girl's brine finally trailed her cheeks, her full frame shaking as she mashed rear Coda, banking the dog over any groan in the joint. Coda shifted, soft nudging her rear him with guard drive, his frame forging a veil tween her and the guy. The throng buzzed, mutters swelling. One breathed, "That kid's on the missing tot flash." Another peeled to tape the play. Harlan took a last call step forth. "Mister," he warned, "this wraps now." The guy's peepers sparked freak, but the girl had spoke, and her spill flipped all. The tick the young girl's quaking spill hit Coda's lug, something in the K9 flipped. His stance switched from edge to full guard prep. His paws splayed wider, his brisket swelled, his peepers honed to savage no-blink glare, pinned on the guy, balking her loose. Then Coda stabbed forth and yapped. Not solo, not duo, but trio, each richer, deeper, bossier than last. It was the yap Harlan knew deep. The yap meaning, "This sprouts in hock." But now the full supermarket keyed instant. Browsers peeled. A fresh pop snagged his lass and shunted her rear a rack. Checkout gals ducked and hollered alerts. A joint hand dashed to the boss nook to flag watch. The hushed drone of the joint vanished, swapped by quaking strain of a blowout ticks from bust. "Coda, hold!" Harlan barked sharp. But this wasn't drill-first turf. Drive ruled all. Coda wedged full tween the girl and the guy, shoving her rear with his bulk while pinning his glare on the mark. His snarl deepened, humming the deck like pre-quake rumble. The guy cracked. "Reel your mutt!" he howled, tone splintering under crush. "He's nuts!" "He's clocking his gig," Harlan shot cool. "And you're backing off." The guy held put. Instead, his mitt twitched. His peepers flicked out again. Harlan pegged the look cold. He'd eyed it on runners primed, fighters coiling, desperados set to wild out. Harlan's mitt drifted nearer his sheath. "Nix," he warned. "Don't amp this." The young girl quaked harder and ducked rear Coda, digits snagging the dog's pelt like soul safe in the globe. Coda loosed a softer burr, soothing her, even Sans peeling his peepers off the guy. A gal down the row gulped. "I clocked that kid," she breathed. "She's the one on the tot flash. They slung her snap this morn." The spill raced like brush fire. "Stray tot. That's her." Jeez. The guy's draw went manic. His brisket heaved. His mug flushed crimson with freak. Coda yapped anew. Brief, keen, blasting. Harlan hiked his rig. "Central, need rush aid at Willowbrook Supermarket. Likely tot snatch underway." The guy peeled rear, twigging he was pinned. Coda stabbed forth. His alert rang clear. "You ain't haulin' her nowhere." The supermarket felt like it had quit drawing breath. The guy's mug had bleached, his digits twitching flank, like unsure bolt, brawl, or flat nix all. The throng's buzz echoed faint like far rumble, swelling sharper, keener, more damning per tick. "That's her. It's her for real," one browser breathed. "Geez, she's the stray lass," another gasped. The guy gnashed dentals, freak blazing through his peepers as truth raced the row like blaze. His forced grin nuked total, swapped by raw, manic dread. Harlan took a chill, but willed step forth. "Mister," he said gauged, "loose her now." But the guy tuned out. His peepers flicked tween Harlan's coda and the out, a quick spark of despair. Damp trailed his flank. His brisket heaved. He nudged the girl's limb, essaying one more haul away, but coda slid instant, jamming him with full stance heft. The girl mewled and snagged coda's dense pelt tight, ducking rear him like shield from above. Her wee bulk quaked, but her peepers held Harlan's, suing, begging credence. Harlan softened tone. "You're good now," he told her. "Swear." The guy cracked. "She's lying. Catch?" he barked, tone splintering as he jabbed at the sprout. "Tykes spin yarns. She's spooked by the mutt, that's it." But his tone packed zilch of the sureness he faked. It quaked, it splintered, it ratted him. Harlan clocked something else. Something petite but key. The guy toted no trolley, no hauls, zilch in mitts save the girl's cuff. He wasn't buying. Never was. He was shifting, probing, hunting out. Coda snarled anew, richer this round, like he'd tapped limit. His ruff spiked. His peepers turned savage slits of pure lock. The dog had wrapped what Harlan now full grasped. This guy wasn't her pop. This wasn't kin-jaunt. This was snatch. A browser abrupt stabbed forth, hiking his phone. "Cop, I yanked the tot flash. Check." He twisted the pane to Harlan. A wee snap brimmed the glow. A pic of same young girl in blue jacket grinning coy. Harlan's gut sank. Her. No ifs. No buts. The guy twigged exposure. And that tick all flipped. The tick the tot flash snap locked truth. The full supermarket seemed to lurch to bedlam. Though none budged, it was that hush pre-boom. Harlan's pulse raced. Coda's snarl enriched. The young girl's digits gouged the dog's pelt, and the guy twigged sex ere all caved on him. His freak blew. Sans warn, he wrenched the girl's limb fierce and bolted to nearest flank row, hauling her rear. Browsers screamed as he shouldered through, toppling a trolley side. Sacks crashed deck. A flask busted somewhere afar. "Halt!" Harlan bellowed. "Loose her!" But the guy held dash, or tried, 'cause Coda keyed swifter than any mortal. The Belgian Malinois rocketed forth like missile, lead skidding from Harlan's digits. His paws thumped deck as he sprinted post the guy, sinews rolling, peepers flaming with savage will. He bridged gap in sex, snaking round trolleys, dodging spooked browsers, his snarl booming the joint. The guy whipped dome rear, spooked. "Shoe from me," he howled, tone splintering. Coda tuned nix. In one slick, mighty sweep, the K9 dashed ahead and vaulted side, jamming the guy's trail with squad trim. The guy skidded, footing lost, tripped rear, scarce holding the girl. But Coda wasn't mauling. He was jamming tactical, willed, wedging tween the sprout and her snatcher. Harlan closed, draw crisp and reined. "Mr. Mitts where I clock 'em." The guy whirled, hunting fresh bolt lane. His draw ragged now, manic. He darted left, but Coda shifted prompt, jamming anew. He tried right. Coda jammed that too. The dog's kicks razor keen, his lock total. "Reel him," the guy shrilled. "He's gonna chomp." "Quit rabbit, he won't need," Harlan said. But the guy wasn't logic-bound no more. Freak had gulped his noggin whole. He shouldered a rack, dumping Ware's deck in despair, then lunged straight outbound. This round, Coda nixed jam. He moved. A mighty boss yap shook breeze as Coda vaulted low, forcing the guy to wrench rear. The sharp flip nuked his balance full. The girl slipped his paw and dropped safe side, smack into Harlan's mitts. The guy smashed deck, steam gone. Coda held tween him and the sprout, snarling with rich guard rage. The hunt wrapped. The tick the guy smacked deck. The supermarket blew to stunned hush. The browsers, iced in fright, now eyed with saucered, quaking peepers. Some breathed, some taped, but most pinned the young girl, no more veiled by the guy's paw, no more gagging her dread. Now she quaked. Harlan dropped low prompt, leveling to her gauge. Hey, you're fine, he breathed soft, holding tone rock despite rush hammering his veins. You're good now. He can't haul you nowhere. The girl held mum. She snagged Coda. Limbs looped his neck so tight her wee mitts paled. Coda held stock still. No snarl, no yap, not even stance tweak. He let her snag. He let her quake against his pelt. He knew her need. At last, post what felt full min hush, the girl gulped breeze and cracked to brine. I didn't know what to pull, she bawled, tone wee and scraped. He said if I hollered, he'd ding me. Harlan's ticker gripped, mandible locking. You nailed it, he told her low. You flashed the cue. Coda keyed. You were so gutsy. She wagged dome quick. Didn't figure none'd clock. Didn't figure aid. But Coda did, Harlan said, pasting warmest, surest grin he could muster. He missed zilch, the girl snuffled, mashing mug in Coda's pelt. I clocked him, she breathed. Clocked the mutt, and recalled the cue they drilled at class, the one for peril, hoped he'd twig, hoped summed. Her tone splintered. He snagged me out the rec hall. She said, I was set to link Mom post-class, but he said he teamed with her. Said she waited. Figured he square. Harlan shut lids brief. So that's the hook. Bank on sham guard. A yarn slung in chill tone. She hiked peepers to Harlan anew, swiping brine with cuff. When I twigged he wasn't hauling to her, I essayed bolt, but he yanked rear harder and said if I chatted any, he'd ding. Her spill melted to balls anew. Coda soft nudged her cheek with schnoz, like saying skip the rap. Harlan gulped deep. You're good now, he repped, 'cause you gutsy and 'cause Coda watched. The girl looped limbs round Coda anew, and first since the full horror kicked. She at last vibed guarded. Wails keened faint afar, swelling louder, keener, gunning to the supermarket like vow of reckon. The guy on deck, crimson-mugged and heaving, essayed one last wild shove up. His digits scraped glossy slabs, questing grip, questing reclaim on turf long lost. But Coda nixed that play. The K9 stabbed forth, stance rock, bearing high, brisket, heaving, reined draws. His rich snarl hummed low in gullet. Not hot, not striking, but plain worn. Park it, the guy iced. Coda held gaze lock. A tick later, the autopane whisked and twin badges stormed in. Mitts on straps, peepers sweeping scene. Another badge tailed close and right rear. A joint boss jabbed frantic to Harlan. This way, Officer Harlan needs aid. The badges sprinted the row, breaking only at Harlan and Coda, who held sentry over the mark like mute, unshiftable bulk. Harlan straightened, tone chill and boss. Mark essayed sprout snatch. Kid reclaimed. Mark pushed back. Coda stepped in. The guy essayed talk, tone quaking, wild. You miss it. I wasn't. Zip it. One badge bit, snagging his cuff and locking with irons. You're cooked. As irons clicked shut, The guy's cool nuked final. He twisted away, but flank badge pinned his spare limb easy, his prior strut gone. Freak gulped it whole. Meantime, Coda wheeled from him total. His gig wasn't pinning perps. His gig was guarding marks. He paced rear to the young girl and parked flank her, mashing bulk soft gainst her shank. The girl's brine eased to wee hitches, and she laid mitt over his dome like dreading he'd fade Sans hold. Badges rifled the guy's sacks and nabbed just what Harlan dreaded. Gear not his, packing a kid's scrunchie, a wee bangle, and creased chart with hall paths lit. More lock, more chill, more why Coda's drives blew the tick the girl hiked mitt. One badge eyed Harlan. "Your mutt keyed this us?" Harlan nodded. "Sex poster Q." The badge wagged dome in awe. "Wild." As the guy hiked to pins and marched out, bucking irons, the throng cleaved hush. Some breathed, some pinned, some wagged domes at the near miss right under noses. But every lone soul eyed Coda with wonder. "'Cause sans him, the rap would have stung way harsher." The bedlam in the supermarket eased slow, swapped by thick hush nigh holy. Badges had marched the mark out, and med crew parked at entry, primed to scan the young girl. Nosy browsers hung afar, breathing on what they'd clocked, how one hiked mitt and K9 drive unraveled horror hid plain. Harlan guided the young girl soft to the joint's front panes, Coda padding near flank her per heedful stride. She held digits curled in the dog's pelt like mooring to soul safe in globe. Med crew dropped to her gauge the tick they hit entry. "Cutie, we're gonna peek ya." "Cool?" One breathed soft. The girl nodded but held Coda fast, and Coda held put too. Harlan peeled side to grant room. Then the pain whisked anew. A gal stormed in. "Lily!" she wailed, tone splintering with mash of fright, optimism, and despair. The young girl's dome snapped up, peepers ballooned, draw snagged. "Mama!" In a pulse, the gal dashed forth, dropping knees and hauling the girl to her. Lily caved against her ma's brisket, bawling so fierce her full bulk rocked. The ma held fierce, mashing mug in her girl's locks, crying to it like dreading lucid fade the sprout. "Figured I lost ya," she breathed through brine. "Figured, oh man, figured I'd never clock ya again." Lily snagged her ma with same wild paw she'd snagged Coda ticks prior. "He said you waited. Said you said tag with him." The gal mashed tighter. "Nix, taut, never. I'd never sling any." Harlan gulped, eyeing the heart reunion with stone in brisket. Even Coda held stock still, dome canted mild, vibing the heat of tick. Browsers swiped peepers. Even some badges peeled to mask feels. Post sundry long ticks, Lily's ma at last hiked dome, and eyed Harlan, then Coda. "Thanks," she breathed, peepers gleaming with thanks words scarce held. "Thanks for hauling my girl rear." Lily eased limbs from ma, just shy to wheel to Coda. She spilled nix, not yet. But her peepers mixed awe, warmth, and iron faith. A tide forged. Coda'd saved her hide, and Lily knew. Lily eased from ma's hold slow, swiping brine with mitt back. Her peepers, still puffy, still quaking, shifted to Coda, parked patient few feet off. His bearing chill now, no guard or strain, his ears lax, draw softened. But his peepers still locked Lily, soft and sentry, like shoring she nixed fade. Harlan dropped flank Coda and breathed, "Chill, pal, she craves ya." Lily stepped forth, hesitant first, mashing plush to chest. Then, with wee gust, she closed till square afore Coda. The joint round blurred, the badge chatter, pain hum, far browser buzz, all smeared to hush. Just the girl and dog who'd saved her. Lily's tone wee, scarce over breath. You came for me. Coda batted lids slow, canted dome. Lily hiked trembling mitt, unsure touch rights. Harlan nodded soft. Hit it, he said. He's years now. Her digits grazed Coda's pelt, and tick she felt warmth and might under. All in her seemed thaw. She dropped knees sans think and looped limbs round Coda's neck, mashing mug in pelt. Her plush slipped mitt and smacked deck. Forgot. Coda held put. He leaned to her hold, mashing dome soft gainst her flank. Wasn't just take, was soothe. A soft, sure burr slipped him. Nigh dogs, you're good now. Gotcha. Lily bawled soft, but these brine fresh. Brine of ease, brine of guard, brine of thanks. Her ma palmed trap, eyeing play with quaking flanks. Badges swapped looks, some gulping deep to mask feel. Even Harlan batted lids extra. At last, Lily peeled back shy to eye Coda's peepers. She cupped his mug in wee mitts and breathed, You're my champ. Coda's tail thumped deck once. Lily grinned, her first true grin since horror kicked. Then she leaned and pecked Coda's crown. The supermarket nixed claps, nixed cheers. It just eyed hush wonder as young girl thanked her lifesaver most pure, heart way. The supermarket eased to stir slow. Though zilch rang same no more, racks still loaded, glows still hummed high, trolleys still groaned cross crisp slabs, but souls in hauled fresh hush, respectful one, quaked one, thankful one. Lily stood tween Ma and Coda, one wee mitt holding Ma, other still soft on police dog's pelt. She nixed loose since thank tick, and Coda, usual keen for next chore, held full still flank her, guard, strut, serene. Out, badges loaded mark to rear of cruiser. The guy who'd prior faked full grip, now looked wee, licked, bared, nix power. Payne slammed and ride rolled off, hauling him to reckon he nixed face. Harlan eyed it dip, then wheeled to sidekick. Nailed it again, pal, he breathed, tone thick feel. Saved another hide? Coda flicked ear, but nixed peel from Lily. His quest nixed rap. Not till she full safe. Ticks later, the joint pains whisked as twin dicks neared with soft pro. They craved spills, deets, clocks. But clocking Lily snagging Coda's pelt with wild soothe, they swapped mute twig. Let her stick with him, one dick breathed. She's hauled enough. Lily hiked Peepers to Harlan, abrupt. Peepers still weary, but no freak. Can I clock him post today? Harlan grinned soft. He'd dig. Her ma swiped fresh brine from cheek. Dunno how to thanks, she breathed. If you and Mutt nixed here? Harlan wagged dome. Nix luck, he said. Coda clocked her long ere us. Lily dropped knees once more and hugged Coda fierce. Later for now, she breathed to pelt. Thanks for clocking me. Coda leaned dome to her flank. Just tick, just shy to say he keyed. As Lily and Ma at last paced to med crew out, Coda eyed till safe reach. Only then he parked flank Harlan with soft blow-like fighter greenlit rest. Harlan rubbed rear ear. Head home, champ. Browsers bunched near entry, some swiping brine, others taping last ticks on phones, nabbing not bedlam, not peril, but hush wake of marvel. 'Cause every soul in that joint knew one with iron sure. A young girl headed home today 'cause a police dog keyed a queue none else clocked.